The three in the car are confirmed fatalities.
Coming up next on your local news on Fox 9, a terrible accident right here in the Valley claims the lives of 3 women. Your local news reporter Vanessa Herrera will have the latest details.
I'm Jennifer Davis in Washington, where there were fireworks today as lawmakers debated the link between the Boston bombings and proceeding with immigration reform. I'll explain coming up.
You can recycle plastic, aluminum, glass, and tin. Paper and cardboard.
Plus, the city of Yuma rolls out its curbside recycling program just in time for Earth Day. Your local news on Fox 9 starts now.
From Yuma and San Luis to El Centro and the Imperial Valley, this is KECY Fox 9 News.
Good evening and thank you so much for joining me. I'm Anna Chalk and this is your local news on Fox 9. We're going to jump right into it. 3 women are dead tonight after they crashed at an intersection that's seen its fair share of nasty accidents. Your local news reporter Vanessa Herrera was at the scene and joins us now with the latest. Vanessa?
Well, Anna, it happened at an intersection that sadly sees nasty accidents like this one all too frequently.
We received a call for a vehicle accident at County 9th and Avenue D, which is 16th Street and Avenue D.
NYCSO says when they got to the scene, they found 3 people trapped inside this car.
When officers arrived, they located 2 vehicles. We do have confirmed 3 victims in a passenger vehicle. The 3 in the car are confirmed fatalities.
The driver, 29-year-old Melanie Darlene Jose from Yuma, and backseat passenger, 55-year-old Harriet Phillips. YCSO was unable to reach the family of the 3rd victim, so her name is being withheld. And although YCSO isn't exactly saying the cause of the accident just yet, Charlie McMurdy with Rural Metro Fire says the county roads are hot spots for accidents.
It's very well marked. There's stop signs and the red flashing lights on the stop signs. However, every now and then you have that person who just looks down at the last minute or doesn't paying attention, or maybe this is their usual route and they become complacent. Who knows? We really don't know.
The driver of the second car, a Dodge Ram pickup, was taken to the hospital as a precaution. YCSO is looking for witnesses to come forward who may have seen the accident. So if you did see anything, you are urged to call them right away. Anna?
Thanks so much, Vanessa. And as you probably know, today is Earth Day, so it seems appropriate that the city of Yuma celebrated by rolling out its new curbside recycling program. Your local news reporter Mauricio Marin has more on when you can start recycling from home.
Recycling is coming to a curbside near you, if you live within the city of Yuma limits. And for one Girl Scout, that's exciting news.
You can recycle plastic, aluminum, glass, and tin. Paper and cardboard.
The blue recycling containers will start being delivered the week of May 13th, and they're going to continue all the way to the week of August 12th.
From neighborhood to neighborhood, 21,000 blue recycling bins will soon start being delivered to homes in Yuma.
Basically, the curbside recycling program, it's not mandatory. We're just encouraging individuals to participate because it's easy, it's the right thing to do.
Councilmember Leslie McClendon has been one of the biggest supporters for the recycling program. And although there's been some hesitation by some, she thinks people will get a grasp of it.
I think that Yuma will embrace it. It's just a matter of time and learning, but once we've got it under control, everyone's going to be super happy.
Next month, workers will start on the east side of Yuma and work their way into the city, dropping off containers. Once each community gets their recycling bin, they will start on the new pickup schedule. So if trash is normally picked up Monday and Thursday, workers will now pick up trash Monday and recycling Thursday.
Well, I have a great sense of accomplishment, that's for sure.
For your local news in HD, I'm Mauricio Marin.
Now to check out when blue recycling bins will be delivered to your home, just log on to the city's website. You see right there at the bottom of your screen, yumaaz.gov. The heat is definitely on. Lots and lots of sunshine this weekend that leaked into our start of our work week. Right now we're just below 80 degrees. Taking a look at our Fox 9 tower cam located right in the center of 4th Avenue here in Yuma at our studios. Again, just below 80 degrees. We've got light winds from the bounce in the camera, you can tell right there, and a little bit of humidity, about 15%. Nicole Gomez is here now with a quick check of your local forecast. Nicole?
Thanks, Anna. It was very hot today across the valley. The ridge of high pressure bringing us very warm temperatures and plenty of sunshine, even though we did see a few clouds across the valley today. As far as our winds, not too bad. A little gusty during the afternoon hours. We had gusts pick up out of the south at 20 miles per hour, but again, it wasn't too bad today. And our sustained wind came in around 15 miles per hour. So it's going to be warm for your Tuesday, but we'll talk about that next system that could bring us some showers. That's coming up in your full forecast. Anna?
Hey, Nicole, thanks. Lots of talk today about the furloughing of many civilian workers employed by the Department of Defense. In fact, there's speculation that the number of forced days off is about to be reduced. Your local news anchor Anna Hayes joins me now. And Anna, some say that that's not quite the case. Is that right?
That's right, Anna. A headline in today's Yuma Sun says furloughs for civilians may be trimmed. The key word there is may. Basically, there are reports going around that say civilians working for the Department of Defense will have the number of forced unpaid days off reduced again from 14 to 7. Your local news talked to officials from all 3 military installations in our area, MCAS, YPG, and NAF El Centro. Now check this out. As you can see, more than 900 people in our area alone will be directly affected by these mandatory cuts when they take place. Reps from the 3 area bases told your local news there is still no official word on how many days these people will be forced to take. Again, they are expecting furloughs, but so far the DoD has not sent out the mandatory 30-day notification telling them when that will take effect, and they've still not been told how many days they'll be forced to take. Now, obviously, this is a story that we will be keeping an eye on, so stick with us and we'll let you know if and when this changes. Anna Chalk, back to you.
Hey, thanks so much, Anna Hayes. And like Anna said, those furloughs will affect lots of people locally, but there are some other forced cuts that could potentially affect anyone who travels inside the United States. Fox's Rich Edson has the latest.
Thousands of flight delays each day. The airline industry says it's possible. It's the first weekday the government is cutting the number of air traffic controllers. The Federal Aviation Administration describes staff shortfalls across the country, slowing air traffic at major airports. These furloughs will likely cost travelers time and airlines money.
If this starts to roll out the way the FAA has said that it will, people are going to not be able to rebook in all cases. Their summer vacation plans are going to be blown, and that's a horrible position to put the traveling public in.
The FAA says its nearly 15,000 air traffic controllers have to take off one day every 2 weeks without pay. This a result of the automatic spending cuts Congress passed in 2011. The airline industry says the FAA's plan maximizes flight delays.
We believe that the FAA has the discretion not to furlough the air traffic controllers. They keep the planes in the air, get them to the ground, and keep travelers moving, keep shipping moving, and that's critical to our economy.
Congressional Republicans charge the administration is structuring these cuts to worsen their impact. In a statement, Congressman Bill Schuster, the chairman of the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure, says, quote, the administration views the sequester as an attempt to score political points rather than address real issues and find real savings in a bloated federal bureaucracy. He points to sizable increases in the FAA's budget and continued spending on consultants and travel. The administration says the law requiring these cuts gives officials few options.
Furloughs cannot be avoided. 70% of the FAA's operations budget is personnel. The FAA must furlough 47,000 employees for up to 11 days between now and the end of the fiscal year.
The administration continues to push Congress to replace these spending cuts with other cuts and tax increases on the wealthy. This fight is playing out in court as well. The nation's airline association is suing the FAA to halt these furloughs, claiming the law gives the administration the authority to cut other spending. In Washington, Rich Edson, Fox Business Network.
And tobacco companies, please go up in smoke. Coming up on your local news on Fox 9, the Supreme Court says those graphic warnings on cigarette packs have to stay. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Can you float Boston bombing? Thanks. Thanks for coming back with us. The 4 minors arrested last week for their connection to the Brawley arson investigations have been charged. Your local news has been following this story. We spoke to the Imperial County District Attorney's Office this afternoon. Now, because they are in the juvenile court system, they are not releasing the names or types of charges that the 15-year-old and the 3 14-year-old kids will be facing. But in a press release from last week, the Brawley Police Department did say that they will be requesting that the DA seek criminal charges that include arson, conspiracy to commit arson, commercial burglary, and conspiracy to commit commercial burglary. And still no word on the $50,000 reward since no one has been convicted yet. Turns out the man accused of shooting his guns into the air last week in a Yuma community now knows what he's up against. Police say last week George Clark fired shotguns in the air near 18th Street and 3rd Avenue. You probably remember the story, brought it to you as breaking news. When authorities responded, they were forced into a standoff situation. In court this afternoon, Clark has been charged with 6 felony charges. They include 2 charges of misconduct involving weapons, disorderly conduct, as well as unlawful discharge of a firearm. Judge Gregory Stewart nearly doubled his bond to $15,000, saying Clark has failed to appear in court for past unrelated felony charges. Clark will be back in court on Friday. The Supreme Court today turned down an appeal from tobacco companies that restricts the way their products are promoted, and that means key provisions of the 2009 Family Smoking Prevention and Tobacco Control Act will remain in place. The law requires warning labels on cigarettes and restricts marketing of tobacco products. Tobacco companies argued that the law violates their constitutional free speech rights. Denying certain foods to children or pressuring them to eat every bit of a meal are common practices among lots of parents, but researchers found parents who restricted foods were more likely to have overweight or obese children. And while those who pressured kids to eat all of their meals mostly had children of normal weight, it had a negative impact on the way those kids ate as they grew up. And again, that was according to the study. Campesinos Sin Fronteras announced today that they're bringing awareness for breast cancer prevention to the city of San Luis in a few fun ways. Check this out. The whole month of May will be filled with breast cancer prevention fundraisers and activities, starting with a walk. It'll be held on May 1st in the city of San Luis, starting on Juan Sanchez Boulevard. Now, this walk is free and open to the public. Then the following morning, so on May 2nd, there will be a breakfast for women to learn more about prevention, and that only costs $10. Finally, a women's expo on May 9th at the Cesar Chavez Center, and that'll be a $1 donation, and that will be taken at the door.
I think it's very important for women to actually have the support when they go through cancer. I got 5 sisters and my mother, so not that they have cancer, but they're women, and I just support them.
And all of the money raised will help those affected by breast cancer, specifically in South Yuma County. And coming up on your local news in HD, Nicole Gomez will be back with your workweek weather, and I have to tell you, it's a hot one. Plus, if you shop online, be prepared to pay some hefty sales taxes. That and more when your local news on Fox 9 comes back. Gotcha, thank you. Thank you. We're good on time also.
You're watching Your Local News on KECY Fox 9 with Anna Chalk and Nicole Gomez with weather.
It was a very hot day today across the valley, almost hit 100 degrees in Blythe. The official high today at the airport, 97, 96 here in Yuma. For the most part, we saw plenty of sunshine and hot temperatures across the valley. High pressure is dominant across the desert southwest. We will remain dry for our Tuesday. Temperatures will continue to stay above normal. We'll see just a few clouds and our winds will remain light as well. Notice on future track, not much to talk about. We'll continue to see again just a few clouds, but it will be beautiful as we head into Tuesday. But we are tracking that next system that we'll talk about in just a few minutes. Notice on Wednesday, we'll have a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms, but that will remain along northern Arizona. So that cold front's actually going to make its way across the four corners, drop our temperatures as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. And again, northern Arizona will see most of the shower activity. As far as tonight, expect mild temperatures for Blythe, Quartzsite, and Welton, and mainly clear skies. Tomorrow's going to be another hot day with temperatures in the 90s for Blythe and Welton. Almost in the 90-degree mark for Quartzsite. Plenty of sunshine for tomorrow. Clear skies tonight for Mexicali and Calexico with temperatures in the 60s. And tomorrow, again, it's going to be hot. 94 for San Luis. We're in the 90s for Mexicali. Nice and sunny. Salton City will be in the 60s tonight. Brawley will looking at a temperature of 62, and Imperial Valley will see temperatures in the lower 60s. Tomorrow, again, it's going to be hot. 87 Salton City, Imperial Valley 89, and 89 for Brawley as well. Tonight in Yuma, we're going to drop down to 66 degrees. Winds will be nice, or light, I should say. Tomorrow, look for a high of 93. So if you're going to be outdoors tonight, it's going to be mild, or if you have to work a late shift, it's going to be pretty nice. 93 is expected high tomorrow. Tonight in El Centro, 61 with light winds. Those light winds will stick around for tomorrow as well. Look for temperatures in the 90s. So it's going to be nice tomorrow, 93 across the valley, 91 for your Wednesday. And again, that system will bring us a chance for some showers during the evening hours, and that chance will continue into Thursday. And notice temperatures are going to drop all the way down to 86 degrees. We'll slowly start to warm up as we head into the weekend with temperatures in the 90s and 95 on Monday. Anna, back to you.
Thanks so much, Nicole. A Brawley woman has about a week to go in her attempt to raise the funds needed to publish a book with Imperial Valley ties. With more on her story, here's your local news reporter, Patrick Hayes.
And I started this project in order to raise funds to help publish my book.
Jessica Fernandez is a volunteer at the Imperial County Historical Society Museum. When she's not there, she's working on a book documenting life in the Imperial Valley during World War II. Jessica has worked on this project for over a year and a half now, interviewing women in the Valley and piecing everything together.
I'm uncovering a lot of history that I'm sure that people are going to be amazed, and hopefully the older people might remember.
This book will include these women's stories and very old pictures of the Valley.
Most of the money is going to be going to the licensing of photos from Imperial County Historical Society and the Texas Women's University archives on the Women's Air Force service pilots.
Jessica is using what's called a Kickstarter to generate the funds needed to self-publish this book. It also helps her get the word out about the project.
People started coming forward to me when I started my Kickstarter, and now I have over a dozen, close to 2 dozen women.
Now, Kickstarter is a place online where people can go and donate money for projects. People who create the projects can create tiers and award their backers. And when you give, you get something back, like a personal thank you letter from Jessica or an autographed copy of her book. But this project still needs some serious donations.
$900, and if I don't raise the $900, then I got to start back from square one.
And just like that, Jessica's dream to shed light on this particular group may never become a reality.
It's not just GLAMIS, the California Midwinter Fair. There's more than that. There's the history of the people who live there, because they have experienced so much that I want the people, especially the younger kids, to know that happened here.
It's a great project and a great idea. If you'd like more, head to my Facebook fan page. That's facebook.com/Anna Chalk, and I'll set up a link to Jessica's Kickstarter page for you there. We'll be right back. (2147) Yeah, 30. Sorry, I didn't understand what you meant.
32.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Just close it?
Yeah.
And I didn't space how you like it.
That's fine. I'll fix it.
I feel like this is cheating somehow.
Why?
Switzerland or something.
Can you reset prompter? Thank you. Thanks for coming back with us. When it comes to using marijuana to treat pain, usually one thing comes to mind, smoking it. But what if you could just take the active ingredient in pill form? Researchers tested 30 men and women who were already regular marijuana users to see which is more effective, smoking a joint or taking a pill. Both contain the same active ingredient known as THC. Now, after 5 sessions, each patient took a capsule, which was either a drug or a placebo, then smoked a marijuana cigarette a short time later. The patients say both were similar in controlling pain, but they say smoking was faster to take effect and the pill's high didn't last as long. And speaking of marijuana, 17 suspected smugglers and nearly 2,000 pounds of drugs are all up the streets tonight thanks to the efforts of the Border Patrol agents in Yuma. Those statistics come from a 5-day period starting in the middle of last week. Here you can see the results of one of the biggest single busts in the picture there. Agents working near Gila Bend found 410 pounds of abandoned marijuana in an area of the desert that's heavily used by drug traffickers. All of the drugs and suspected smugglers were taken into custody. The total estimated value of the entire stash of drugs was over $800,000. And the debate over immigration is heating up on Capitol Hill, all because some people are trying to bring the Boston bombings into the mix as lawmakers debate the issue. Fox's Jennifer Davis has more.
Never said that.
Tempers flare at a Senate hearing after a Republican senator takes issue with accusations that opponents of a sweeping immigration bill are trying to derail it by linking it to the Boston bombings.
I didn't say you did. I don't mean you, Mr. Grassley.
Chairman Patrick Leahy did open the hearing by issuing a warning to those he says are exploiting the bombings to try and stop the bill.
Let no one be so cruel as to try to use the heinous acts of these two young men last week to derail the dreams and futures of millions of hard-working people.
In a letter sent to the Senate Majority Leader Monday, Republican Senator Rand Paul argues Congress should slow down debate until more is known about the Boston terror suspects who immigrated legally from Russia. He writes, "We should not proceed until we understand the specific failures of our immigration system." But a Republican author of the immigration reform bill says, if anything, the bombings highlight the need to move ahead with the measure.
I think having 11 million people roaming around the country in the shadows is a national security nightmare.
This is the second hearing about the nearly 900-page immigration proposal, and committee members are set to gather again Tuesday to hear Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano testify about the measure. In Washington, Jennifer Davis, Fox News.
Your next online purchase could cost you a little bit more. That's if a proposed internet sales tax is passed. The tax would allow 45 states and D.C. to demand that online retailers tax you. A study from 2009 predicts the tax revenue could be between $12 and $23 billion per year. Now, if the sales tax proposal is passed, companies with sales of more than $1 million would be responsible for collecting the tax on their own. The nation's biggest banks, it turns out, are rolling out the next generation of ATMs. The latest models include features like video chatting with a live teller, getting change, or paying your credit card bill. The ATMs will also be open a little bit longer than traditional bank branches. Analysts say ultimately banks investing in this new technology hope to reduce costs and hopefully keep customers coming back. And here's a look at what's coming up. You know, today is Earth Day. See what the men and women in uniform in our area are doing to take part in the celebration. We'll be right back. Wait, 45. We only have 15 seconds. Two 746. We got like 8 seconds when we come back. 27, 46, 28, 42, 46.
How many seconds?
Up. Yep.
8 seconds here? Are you say anything?
I'll just read one of your paragraphs, but the next show I'll have it all in there. Thank you. Did you hear your marijuana story? Did I read it like you wrote it? This is Marine Corps Air Station Yuma Gunnery Sergeant Rene Hernandez. He's presented with an award for his eco-conscious recycling efforts. Happy Earth Day.